Hi guys, today I'm going to just show you some of my work in progress pieces. I've got a drawer full. Honestly, I've lost count of how many I've got right now. They're all in different media, and they're not finished for different reasons, and I can take you through some of those later. So the selection today, the first one, the little one, is an oil painting. It's just 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches, so slowly making my way through it. The second painting, the Kingfisher, it was actually my first try at acrylic gouache. So I've seen a lot of artists do some amazing things with that medium, and I wanted to try it myself. It's almost done. I just have the little butterfly to go, and I'm not sure why I stopped here. I think I just got distracted, which is pretty normal for me. The next piece, actually the inking was done years ago. It was done in 2015 for our postcard coloring set. You can find that one in our store. Basically, I did the outlines, we scanned them in, we turned them into coloring cards on water paint paper, and then I just left it. And it's only recently that I started painting my cards, so that one's only half done. The next piece I've worked on in a couple of sessions. It's basically a card design, I'd say. It's sort of a mixture of accurate bird painting and like an Art Nouveau floral pattern. This next piece, it was actually quite popular on Instagram, this one. It's mixed media, color pencils, gouache, and I think it's gold acrylic ink, I want to say. I think it's actually a variety of gold. I even used some gold pencils on there. It's a really detailed piece, and that's probably why I only go back to it every now and then. I only put in an hour or two, and then I leave it, and that's why it's not done yet. And this piece, that's part of my Aussie Animal coloring card set that we're working on now. So I finished 4 of 6. This is number 5. It's a spotted quoll, and it's definitely one of my more complicated pieces. So yeah, I think the more complex they get, the sort of more likely it is that I'll just put them aside and only get back to them every once in a while. I'm just quite easily distracted. Sometimes I see someone do something that I want to try, and so I drop everything that I'm doing and I move on. Some of my work in progress pieces are months, if not years old. So that little oil painting, I think I started it about 4 or 5 months ago. The Kingfisher around the same time, and like I said, that blue-faced honey eater, that's been around for a long time, 4 years now, and I've only just started painting him. I actually wanted to make a demo video of me painting him, but I'm still trying to figure out how to basically get this my large videos to Myra, who will then assist with editing. I just pulled out another piece. This one is ancient. God, I started this a while ago, and what happened was I started it with color pencils, and it didn't work out for me because I had used the wrong side of the paper. That's a Fabriano Artistico paper, so I went over it with watercolor. And this is number 6 of the Australian Animals painting cards that we're working on. It seems like I've chosen a couple of darker animals to paint, and black is not really black, so maybe that's why it's taking me so long to finish that one off. But I guess I'm halfway done through the last 2. Finally, I've got quite a few of these already outlined, so this is another design for a painting. I'm not sure when I'll start on this one. It's been in my sketchbook for a while, so I've just basically put it onto proper paper using a light box. When I'll get started on that, probably not anytime soon, especially with my current backlog. And honestly, this is just a fraction of the work in progress pieces that I have. This isn't really even taking into account all my oil pieces, which I will probably do a different video on. While we're on the subject of work in progress pieces, this is a selection of some of my oil work in progress pieces, and they're not done for a variety of reasons. This little guy, for example, he's just not meshing for me. The colors are just not working together. I think what I'm going to have to do is probably change a lot of the color mixtures that I've got going on here before I'm happy with it. Yeah, so that one will hopefully be done soon. These are quite popular on Blue Thumb Art actually. I've sold quite a few of these little mini ones. This little guy, this is me trying wildlife in oils as opposed to watercolor. It definitely is a different technique to what I'm doing with my landscapes. There's a lot more detail, as you can see. Why he's not done yet, I think I just got distracted. He's definitely going to be done before the year is out though. He's the only one at the moment of this size that's non-landscape, so we'll see if I can give him some friends. This piece is oil on primed paper. I really love this piece. I love what's going on with the clouds, with the hue changes and the textures. The only thing left is the foreground. I probably need something that's contrasted to what's happening in the sky but not too overwhelming. So this one should be done pretty soon, I'd say. This piece, this is just the first layer of oils, and I've just noticed that the color palette is actually quite similar to that piece on paper. They don't have names yet, it's way too early to name them. I think my worry is I don't want to paint over some of the nice cloud formations that I've got going on, but this is very rough, and also the foreground needs some work. This guy was me trying to paint something detailed in oil, which is quite different to doing the same with, say, acrylics or gouache. You need quite a bit of patience, and this had me going back over and over again with super tiny brushes. He will be done eventually. I really like this piece. I think I might be just a tiny bit stuck, but yeah, no, he's definitely not going to stay a work in progress forever. So you'll notice that a lot of these I'm using framed wood panels. It's because I really like the smooth surface. That's definitely, I think, my favorite surface for oils. This piece is another semi-abstract landscape, and it's just not really working for me. There are a couple of color combinations that I like, but overall, I don't know, I may have to actually change it pretty drastically before I'm happy with it. It might be the fact that all my brush strokes and then the palette knife strokes are sort of moving in one direction, which is sort of predominantly to the right, you know, the right of the painting. Maybe that's what's not working for me. So yeah, this may need some significant work before I'm done. I think maybe it might also be the fact that I'm now moving more towards realistic landscapes, but semi-abstract landscapes are really freeing. My work generally tends to be quite detailed, so it's nice to sometimes just go nuts with a palette knife and some brushes and just see where I end up. So yeah, this is, I think these, as well as the pieces I've shown you before, is just a very small selection of my work in progress pieces that tend to span a very long time. I guess it doesn't matter very much. I don't tend to exhibit very often, and I don't really tend to work in very strict series, so I guess it doesn't matter, does it, as long as I finish them at some point. But let me know which you would like to see done. Maybe I can put together some work in progress videos. Obviously it would just be me finishing things off. It's very unlikely I'll have a video of a complete painting like this because they do take a long time. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.